Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Carmela's Wrestling Radio Relived. Hi, Jeannie. I'm here with
Hi,
my buddy, Jeannie.
Carmela.
We have a really cool guest today, and I'll let
Yes.
Jeannie tell you about him in a minute, but just wanted to say a few things. First of all, I don't know if you know it or not. We put it on Facebook and everything, but Paul passed away on the 8th of November, and I believe in my heart that he's in a better place. And we're
Ugh.
going to do a tribute show. I know we're going to do a tribute show to him probably next week. We're not sure of the day yet, but we're going to do a tribute show. I put on Facebook for anybody to give me a story about Paul. Um, People know him in so many different eras, different times, different ways, you know. So I just want to hear what you have to say. We're going to probably have a guest or two who knew Paul really well. Um, as you know, I was married to Paul, and he was an exceptional person. He certainly could aggravate the balls off a brass monkey, okay? But he was a good person. He was a good man. He was an
Yes.
excellent dad. Um, so we just couldn't be married, but we stayed friends for a long time. We spoke on the phone, even when I was married to my second husband. We spoke on the phone every day for over 50 years. So that says something right there. But he will be dearly missed. He was an excellent man. And like I said before, no Paul, no Wrestling Radio. No Paul, no Squared Circle. No Paul, no Carmella. No Paul, no Joel. Okay. So Paul was the epitome of everything that we became. All right.
Yes.
He was the one, as you know, Joel says in on his book, it's titled We Wrestled, We Brawled, We Started It All, which is absolutely true when he went on his own. But prior to that, Paul started it all. Paul is 100% the person who started it all. And I will always give him those accolades. So, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that we're going to do one. I wanted to let you know also, I wanted to thank everybody for all of your kind words, all of your gestures, all of your texts, all of your phone calls, all of your messages. So kind. I really appreciate it more than you can possibly know. There is an obituary. If you want to put something on there, please do. It just type in Paul Panfil. It's Panfil obituary, and it comes right up because it just he just passed. So go on there, please, and write something.
And I
Wish him well.
shared that obituary on my Facebook page.
Okay, yes,
So
on
if you
Jeannie's
can't find
Facebook.
it and we're friends on Facebook, you can
Right,
certainly go to my
right,
page and look for it. And
yeah. So just go on and say something. It might, I think it would be really good. Um, he's deserves to be remembered forever.
yes.
All right. But anyway, thank you so much. Jeannie.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna get started with our guest. You take it away, girl.
Yes. I'm so excited. I've been a fan of this man for a few years now. And as everybody knows, I'm a huge fan of the Super Crazy Wrestling and Skid Row Academy wrestling school. And this guy is a part of that. And as uh, Tim always says, you can't deny Dynamite. I can't deny Dynamite. So,
Oh,
with no further ado, from the mean streets of Royersford, Pennsylvania, please welcome Tim Dynamite.
and there he is.
Me?
Woo!
Wow. You come from some
Woo!
mean streets,
Whoa!
huh?
Oh, all day. I'm actually home here in the mean streets. It's
Wow.
nice. It's right now. We're it's kind of quiet. We're kind of settling down into the evening, but it's mean, mean,
Wow.
mean, 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 mean. I mean every word when I say it's the mean streets. But
Where's
we're chilling.
Royersford? Where's Royersford, Pennsylvania? What is it near? What other city?
So essentially, the way I always explain it to people is like, say you're heading into. So are you from New Jersey or are you from Pennsylvania?
I'm from Philly.
Oh, perfect. So say you drive towards King of Prussia,
Okay.
you pass that exit, right? You get onto 422, you pass Oaks, you pass Collegeville, boom, you're in the mean streets. That's where you're at. So it's about,
Wow.
give or take from where you're at, probably about 45 minutes on a good day.
Well, she lives in New Jersey now. She's
Now, but I'm
up
from
Oh,
near
Philly.
okay.
Trenton,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
so
originally,
give or
yeah,
take,
she's from Philly.
I don't know. Want to do some comparisons, but the mean streets of Philly and the mean streets of Royersford
Oh, all day.
all
All
day?
day. All
Okay.
day.
All right, we got you. Next podcast, we're going to
For
compare
sure.
notes all
Oh,
day.
I'm down.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, Tim, I absolutely, I love and adore you, except for when you're going up against somebody that I love. We've had it where we've had a few exchanges of words because I'm a Primal Fear fan, and you guys were, feuding at the time, so you were not happy with me wearing their shirt. But anyway, but I do have your shirt, and I do wear your shirt, so I do have that. Um, the only thing I'm not sure I know about is like, when did you get started in professional wrestling? Like, what age were you? Were you always a fan, watching it on TV? Like, how young were you? And take us through your wrestling history.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely was introduced to wrestling probably middle of the road around the time when, like, most people say they get brought into it. People are like, oh, I've been watching it since I was 3. Then you got people like, oh, I got into it when I was a teenager. I was kind of smack dab in the middle with that. Probably I was like maybe 6, 7. Got like, and it was Friday Night SmackDown, and I saw The Undertaker. And that was it right there. Like that was just the way he carried himself, the way, like, there was a confidence about his presentation that was very alluring, and I had to know more about what the hell this pro wrestling stuff was. And so yeah, I've been a fan for pretty almost my entire life. But uh, I got started in November 2018 at Keystone Championship Wrestling. I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Keystone is, you can, I guess it's classified now as IJW. It's just wrestling, but for the most part, the actual, like, core of it is pretty much defunct. But that's where I met obviously the Madman Kareem, who was training, hosting the classes, and then you had Rob Prefontaine, the late Rob Prefontaine, who
Yes.
had no problem, stretching me out a bit, showing me, some of, passing me on some of the knowledge from his time. And that's where I met a lot of the, it's funny enough, a lot of the guys that you see at Super Crazy, came from Keystone. You had Homeless Vaughn, you had Big Rock, not too long after Devious Cass, rolled on in. And so, it was just, for the most part, though, a lot of the guys were a lot bigger, and you know, it was very obvious to me from like the get go. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I need to figure this part out. This
Right.
whole being able, getting comfortable, getting tossed around by these dudes that are like 3 times my size, because I was a beanpole of a kid. And so, yeah, but it was great. It's where I took my first bumps. Learned how to lock up. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, just breaking into that, so.
And then I guess through Rob, you met Darren or O-Dog and
Yeah, so
Denise, and
it's
yeah.
funny how it all kind of pans out, because after Keystone closed its doors, I made my way over to H2O very briefly.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I met Matt Tremont, and that's also where I met a lot of the guys, Mathers, Austin Luke, Sean Smith, and eventually. So the way it happened was, I'm sure most people know, in Pennsylvania you have to be at least 18 years old
Right.
to wrestle, and I was 16 when I started training. And so by the time I turned 18, the whole world shut down. Everybody's like, yeah, we're not doing anything, we all got it locked down. And so I made my way over to H2O, and at the time, spots were very limited, and I truthfully at the time couldn't really dedicate enough time to demonstrate that I was a reliable, hand to have, on deck for stuff like that. So by the time I actually finally made my debut, it was for Keystone. They opened back up just for a show, and that's where I met the Super Crazy Crew. So that would have been September 2021.
Okay.
And been with Super Crazy ever since.
Nice.
How's it feel to be with Super Crazy?
Great. Oh,
Yeah.
It's the best, because I feel like we're in a really good spot right now with Super Crazy. Because for the longest time, it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was brutal, because it was like, I guess the saying, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Like, that's definitely what it felt like being there, because like you had all, especially when we were back in Westville, at that warehouse, you know, we had all these major companies come in and all these major talents that would want to come and stop by for training. And it just gets to a point that if you didn't really step up your game, you know, you were really kind of lost in the shuffle. But now, because we've been in Gloucester City now for 3 years, roughly, just about, and you know, we're we've kind of settled into our identity, I guess you could say. And so now, um, I feel like the opportunities are like it's just like they just keep coming, and they come in like the weirdest forms. Like I was at we had a rental come in, and Darren, dog, pulled me aside, and he literally had this stern look on his face, like, "What you doing?" I'm like, helping set up." And he's like, can you be at the arena in 15 minutes? Now, okay, just so you're playing with what's in my mind for a second. I hear arena, okay, and I'm thinking like our old building, because like it was to us like that seemed like an arena compared to the building we were in now. Like
Right.
it wasn't too long after we had to move on from that place. So I'm like, oh, did we forget something? Do we have to pack something else up? It's like, oh no, the 2300 arena. They need somebody on for Alpha Junior needs somebody on his card, and he's asking for students. And I'm like,
Wow.
what time is it? 15 minutes? I'll push it. I broke every traffic law.
Did you get there in time?
I got there in time. I got
Good.
there, and it was great. So,
Oh, that's nice. I'm so glad. That sounds such a really good story. So, do you like prefer any particular style of wrestling that that you use more than others?
boring, boring wrestling. That's what I prefer. I prefer that more than anything else. So, I'm actually so glad you brought this up, because I feel like this is the perfect time for me to talk about this, because this has been a subject that's been coming up recently in a lot of conversation I have
Okay.
with a lot of the boys. So, um, I know it's very popular to sit here and follow up a phrase with like, oh, my style's really subdued. I like to take my time and let moments be moments. It's very popular to then follow up with the I'm not into all these flips and dives that these kids are doing. They're gonna be crippled by 25. I'm trying to have a long career. I'm not about that. I think all styles of wrestling are needed, they're warranted, and they're great. Um, and the truth is, I can do that. Like if I feel like it shouldn't come as a shock that somebody my size, I'm 5'8", 185 pounds. If I can't climb to the top rope or jump to the floor, I gotta figure something out. Like that's
Yeah.
for me at 23 especially, like you gotta be able, it's just that it's for me it's just been more efficient. I judge a lot of what I do in the ring based off of what I hear from the people. And so a lot of times I'm out there and I see like the flash, the high spots. We're gonna run, we're gonna do this tackle, drop down, pass by, lucha, I listen, and it's like you get this, which is good, but our crowd just doesn't. They're a casual audience for the most part in Gloucester City. So they're not really receptive to that, and it's only when we have somebody who really, like, if we bring in like a Jordan Oliver or a Marcus Mathers, who like they bring those people with them. They're like, oh, these guys are good. I'm gonna go watch these guys. For the most part, they just want people to like chirp at them. So if I have somebody in a chin lock and I see a kid looking at me, I'm gonna chirp at him. I'm gonna say something, and chances are he's gonna say something back, and then his dad's gonna say something because he thinks his
Yeah.
kid is having a blast, and now he's gonna chime in, and I
And
think
they do love to chirp at you.
oh my
They do
goodness.
love to chirp at you. It
And
is the only way I really can describe it is like Tim is so good, and he really does. He's excellent as Carmelo. We always say a good storytelling in the ring, and he does that. And a lot of the fans, like they call him Uncle Jesse, and after the Full House John Stamos thing, and sorry, senior moment. There's what's the other thing they chirp at you?
Oh, I'll tell you, because
Go ahead, yeah, because I'm
yeah,
having a senior moment. The Uncle
yeah,
Jesse
they
thing.
love Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim,
they're very
yes,
big. They're
yes.
very big on that, and it's
Oh
funny because
my God.
growing up, I would hear that all the time. You hear it like all the names. You hear Timmy Turner, Tiny Tim. Timothy Oliver was like a character of like a some sort of media that was like popping up at the time, and you hear all these like So I hear that all the time, and then for years nobody said it. I'm like, I guess we're past that. And then I went to the Monster Factory, and somebody there started the Tiny Tim stuff. Then they came to Super Crazy, and they brought it over here, and that's
That's
all I hear.
funny.
So
That
Oh
is
but I
my
too
love it.
funny.
God.
Does it bother you?
No, it's great because then it gives me a chance to slow down. I don't have to wrestle so hard. I don't have to do anything. That's the best. It's the best to just stand there.
It is, and I know, and forgive me, I can't remember her name, but he has one fan that is absolutely obsessed
Really? Just
with you.
one? I can't believe that. Just one.
Well, she's the most obsessed. I'll put it that way. And if anybody talks bad about him, I mean, she gets right in your face and like she don't care. And she's amazing. I love her to death.
How is
I
she, like a
probably can't.
teenager, an adult, a young girl? I
No,
mean,
no, preteen maybe.
Yeah, I will say
okay.
this, like as bizarre as the phrasing sounds, I've definitely been a bit more of a popular act amongst the younger demographic. And
Yeah.
I think it's just because they're, especially these days, they're all about like, quick content, something, interaction. They just something. And if you're just kind of sitting there and just leaving them alone, you know what I mean? And just let them do that. Their attention span is so like, it's lightning fast.
And they
So,
love being a part of it. They love
Yeah.
it when you
exactly.
chirp back, and
Yeah.
then
Exactly.
makes them chirp back more. And then it's just this great dynamic that he has with all of his
And
fans.
he's a cutie pie. You're a cutie
And
pie. Yeah, you
yes,
are. You're a cutie pie. Oh, come
I
on.
try. I
he
Come
try.
is.
on.
It's
He
not. It's
is.
not.
He
It's
is.
not
He
easy.
and he is just, so the thing with the them chirping about Uncle Jesse, I'm like, that's me, wouldn't be an insult. Like, how is this an insult? I don't know. That's a great looking man. I had a huge crush on him back in the day.
That's
You
Big
know,
Rock's
Good-looking
fault, by the
man.
way. He started
What's
that
that?
chant. Big Rock started that chant before he
did
came
he?
back. Before he came back, he was kind of scoping out the scene, kind of watching off, in the darkness in the corner of the building of the hall. And he's the one that started. And you
Okay.
can't miss his voice. Like it's very. I'm like, I know that's you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so it's his fault.
Yeah. But the only, like I said, I think you're phenomenal, except for now, the only exception I had. Now, you were brilliant in the match. Do not get me wrong, but your feud with Denise or Sienna Duvall, who we've had on the podcast, what was it like working with her?
Wait a
So,
minute. Is he the one that beat her up?
Yes.
I am. But she
Timothy.
had it coming. No, I'm kidding. So, all right. So, all right. We'll pull back because we
You
actually
beat
were
up
pretty,
a woman.
yeah, we tried to be pretty
But
good about,
now let's just be fair, okay? She's a badass,
she
and
is. She
she
is.
gives
She
it
is.
out just as much as she can take it. So
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah,
So
she is.
this I actually I'm actually excited to talk about this because she, first of all, Sienna Duvall, Denise, whatever you want to call her, she's fantastic. She's
She
always been
is.
fantastic.
She is a
She's always
very
been,
great woman. Yeah.
yes, always been so sweet to me when I have been a problem, like always looks past it. But yeah, so it wasn't actually meant to be us doing anything. Like it wasn't supposed to be. So we have a student who actually, funny enough, is gearing up to essentially like re-debut at Surface of Doom tomorrow night. Ashton Nicole, at the time she was Chanel Monroe. She is actually related to Samuel Falsey. But
okay.
in our match that I had with Falsey, she turns on him, aligns with me, and it was supposed to set up her and Sienna. That was the vision. Real life always has a funny way of, changing up wrestling plans, and eventually it just kind of slowly morphed into her and I. And she was always super excited. Like, she was always coming up with like ideas like, what if we did this? What if I call you, like I'm FaceTiming you just to nag you? And I'm like, that'd be so funny. I could be so stressed about it too.
Yeah.
So like we were just, a lot of the stuff was just, we thought of it on the spot, to be honest with you, those promos, those interactions. But and this is the part why this is important to me. So in the grand scheme of pro wrestling, right? Tim Dynamite really doesn't. He's not a player in the industry just yet. Still need to branch out, get better reps, get better opponents, travel around, make the waves. But to Super Crazy and specifically Denise, she found that I was important enough and worthy enough to essentially have her last match.
Wow.
And
You
she
will
wasn't
never.
wrong. She
Yeah,
wasn't
she
wrong.
was. I
That's
appreciate
an
that.
honor. That's a huge honor.
Yes, she
Yeah.
will, and that's the biggest thing. So like people, again, wrestling, it's so like, it's, you have it 24/7 now. Like there's so much content out there, so it's hard to kind of take up that real estate in public perception. So the idea of some independent company in South Jersey, having a retirement match without really promoting it as a retirement match, but like, to most people it might not seem anything, but to people that are within the industry, they know how, like, to them, like, their career is everything. Whatever they do, that time in the ring, that is all we have, to be honest with
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
And to give that up to help elevate somebody else, no matter how much it elevates in the public perception, just within what we're building at Super Crazy, that meant
Yep.
the world.
Yep.
And it was kind of like like a quiet agreement where she wasn't going to make it known that it was her last match, and she had also requested, because I hear people all the time ask, because it was it was a cool badass tagline. They're like, why don't you call yourself the Crucible Tim Dynamite? Why is it just Tim Dynamite? You stop using that. We had talked about, like, that character, when I first brought that nickname into the character, started with our program. And I figured it would only be fitting, if you're gonna give me something, let me give something back here. So I dropped that. That's something that, like, that part of the character goes away with that chapter of my career, and with that chapter of her life. And so it was a blast, and it feels so weird to be talking about it like this, because we spent so much time, like, obviously you can't, it's very hard to keep, the kayfabe,
Yeah.
as they say. But like, we tried very, very hard for very, very long to, like, not really, like, let it be seen. Like, we didn't go out, like, and help out, after the show, like, by each other. Like, if we had to, break down the ring or chairs or whatever, she'd go that way, I'd go this way, we would never cross. And it was just like a little thing, just to try and get people to feel some sort of real connection to it. And if we're talking about it, I'm assuming that we did a decent enough job, and I'm very proud of that, for sure.
Well, I heard that it was a beautiful match, a really great
Yes.
match. And kudos to you, because from what I have learned about Denise, she is not only a badass, but she is somebody that should be incredibly respected.
Mhm.
She is so many things, and she is beautiful, and she's built great, and she's a wrestler, and she's a trainer, and she's a cop, and she's all these things. And God bless her. I mean, you can't take anything away from her. The woman is incredible. She really is. And
I'll never do anything to piss her off. Put it that
that
way. Like, there's
So
no way.
now here's, I will let this out too. This is just a little funny anecdote that I like to tell. So she is all that. She's all that and then some. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here like, I'm just the wrestler dude, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But every day she's like, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna figure this out. Like, all right, you got
Right.
it. That's all you. But, and this is the one thing I had on her. The one thing. So I'm taking it, right? Wrestling cardio versus real life cardio, two incredibly
Yes,
different things. And she
absolutely.
will tell you this herself, which is the only reason why I bring this up. There were definitely like there was one part in particular where I knew like because we were cooking a little bit. We were trying to, I was kind of trying like I knew like I had to take some, but I was gonna make sure to dish some out at the same time. It's what she deserves. I'm not gonna hold back. I'd be doing her a disservice. Um, but like I said, wrestling cardio is it's something else. And there was a point in time where she was making a cover, and I kick out, and we know we have to go to the next spot, and she's like on me. And I feel that kind of sandbag weight of like,
Mhm.
if I wanted to get up, I would, but I'm just gonna chill here for a few seconds. And I just
Yeah.
thought to myself, you're blown up. I got you. I got you.
Oh my God. That's funny. That
It
is
was a
really funny.
phenomenal match, and that was also the first match that we saw your new best friend, um bodyguard, or I'm not real sure of his exact title other than best friend. Again, Alzheimer's just kicked in. Peter
Oh, Storm.
Storm, yeah, came out, and he did interfere, and it did wind up costing Denise the match, and you won. So where did you guys meet, and how did you get him to be your, I don't want to say sidekick, but your best friend, we'll say.
So, the secret to getting somebody like him as your best friend and watching your back, right, is to just get lucky enough to know him early on in your lives that you go to school together and you watch each other's back then so that you could have each other's backs now. So yeah, that's my
Nice.
dude, right? Storm is that is my guy through and through. Funny enough, he when I first made it over to Super Crazy, he joined me. He was there. But again, like I alluded to earlier, real life has a funny way of making things happen. He had to go step in life roles that he was kind of forced into, and but he handled his business as he always does. And so he was a couple of years behind to where I'm at, and so he's been catching up now. But yeah, he we met like I think we met in like 8th grade, and like
Wow.
we went to separate elementary schools. So the district that we went to, it has several different elementary schools, and then it's got like one middle school. It's really weird how this works. It's got a middle school, like a 5, 6, 7th grade center. Then it's got its own separate 8th grade center. Then it's got a separate 9th grade center, and then it's got 10 through 12. I don't know what that's all
Wow.
about, but
That's
that's
a
just
little
how
weird. Yeah.
we do things a little differently here in the mean streets.
In the
But
main streets of
there you go.
Royersford.
Yeah. So,
That's
but
funny.
we met in 8th grade, and it was kind of like one of those things where like I think he was wearing like a wrestling shirt, and I'm like, "You like wrestling?" And he's like, "Yeah." "You like wrestling?" I'm like, "Yeah." And that was it. That was as simple as that. And we've been literally just the best of friends ever since.
Lifelong
Um,
friends. It's funny what wrestling does to people. Jeannie and I met through wrestling, and we've been lifelong friends as well. We're family, and
oh yeah.
like we have done so much. We've met so many people through wrestling, and so many wonderful people as well. I do have one question though, Tim. You had said before that you listen to the fans, you listen to what they say, how they react, chirping, whatever. Um, we've had several wrestlers say different things. One wrestler says that the fans are just puppets, and the wrestler is the ringmaster, and he moves them. He tells them what he wants. He doesn't listen to them. Then you have another wrestler who says the fans determine the function of the persona that's in the ring. The fans determine, if you hear what the fans want, you give it to them. That's much better. So you have two, like a double-edged sword here. What do you really think when you are in the ring? Would you rather uh, make the wrestling fans react the way you want them to, or do you react the way the wrestling fans are telling you that they like? How does that fit in with your wrestling?
Yeah. So it's definitely make them react first and then listen. So not to have like a cop out answer, but like I totally get both perspectives because I think the first perspective where you're dictating the pace of everything like that, that comes from a perspective of you're in there, you know what you're doing, you're confident enough in your abilities and your skills that like it shouldn't matter what people are doing, you're still gonna be you and you're still gonna get the job done. I think if you're on the other end of the with listening to the fans wholeheartedly, I think you are just somebody who understands your role as an entertainer and that like not saying that the dictating the pace you're kind of taking yourself too seriously, but I
Right.
know there's people like that will do that from time to time. Um I definitely have modes where I want people to react a certain way. Absolutely. And I'm going to force as much as I can to make that happen, but the people are still going to be the people. And you just got to like let that wherever they're going, you just got to let that happen. So like perfect example, I wrestled Rulo at the last Super Crazy event, and I had a dead set vision on what I wanted out of that match. And we went out there, we started wrestling, and they just wanted to go this way. I'm forcing them this way, they want to go this way. So then it was like, all right, we're at a point here where and not to spoil anything in particular, but like I knew this match in and of itself was just another step in the overarching story that we're trying to tell. So I said, all right, they got this one. Um, that's on us. We didn't do what we needed to do to take them there. No problem. Going into the next step, which may or may not involve tomorrow night. I'm much more like, okay, I know where they want to go. Let's take them here, and that's is my intention. I think of guys like John Cena. You know, he's always been very vocal about that style because he grew up in the business, surrounded and learning under the likes of Eddie Guerrero, Triple H, some of the best improvisers to ever grace the entertainment form,
Hmm.
and you know, a lot of it's just feel and like example again, I can be that athlete. And there's so many cool things that I want to do. You don't think I want to do a handspring? You don't think I want to do the lethal injection? Of course I do. That'd be sick. But the lethal injection might get this and not what's going to happen. Like that's what I want. I want people at the end of the night, I don't care what anybody says. They could say, "Oh, Devious Cass is a better athlete. Samuel Falsey is more aggressive." But I want them to say, "But Tim Dynamite's match was different, and I was paying attention. I was listening to whatever was going on." That's what I want.
Right.
So yeah,
Do you feel like you get that?
hmm yeah. And it took a while. It definitely took a while because um, I'm not to throw anybody under the bus like that, but I'm definitely surrounded by a locker room full of we want to do this and we're going to aim to do this. No problem. That's you. This is how I'm doing it, and that's usually like where the skills of improvisation, which is something that I've really tried to work on and hone in on,
Hmm.
need to come into play. And it's tough because I'm usually sharing the ring with guys that aren't comfortable with that. And
Okay.
so I know that if I'm in there with somebody that is comfortable with improv, that I got you. We'll get there. Somebody who isn't as comfortable with it yet, I'm still learning how to take them on that journey to make sure, hey, it's okay. I got you. Don't worry. Don't stress. Don't even think about it. We'll get to your destroyer. Chill out. Like we'll get there. Like that's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow night. And tomorrow night you are going against, and again, Alzheimer's. Who's your opponent tomorrow night?
Mark Raspa Jr.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Should be a great match. Should be a great
Very
match.
cool. Very
Unfortunately, I
cool.
missed the last show. I wasn't feeling well, but yeah, no, I'm all in tomorrow. I'm definitely all in. Bringing my peeps. Uh, Mr. Frank Chili, another one of your big fans, and
That's that dude right there. That's the man.
Frankie the Thumper, baby.
Oh yeah.
You know, and Christine,
Oh,
who
she's going to.
yeah, Jake's mom, who he actually went to Skid Row Academy for a little bit, and it's killing me that he left it. But you know,
Not me. I'll tell you. He walked in. I went, "Hey,
Yeah,
whoa."
he's a big boy. He is a big boy. Do you know in
and
that
I
little
remember him when he was like this big, you
when
know, and
he
it
was
was
a
Yeah.
like,
child, there was a time when he was about this big. When he was a
yeah,
child, he came to, I believe it was an ECW, no, ECWA.
yeah,
All right, a match. And that was his first match, and he loved wrestling. And we got him into the ring. You know, we called the guys who were our friends. They pulled him into the ring, and oh my God, he just got bit. He got bit by the bug, and that bug stayed with him forever. I was kind of hoping he was going to go into that route and become a wrestler, but you know, whatever he decides to do, he's going to be good at. But he's a big boy now. It surprised me, you know. I was like, you know, he was taller than me when he was little. So imagine how small I am next to him, or
well,
short, I
you're
should say.
like 3 feet tall, so you
Stop it. I'm 5'1" now.
Hey,
know.
hey. As somebody who's also short, let me tell you something. Okay, I had no shot. Mom's 4'10", dad's 5'6". Both grandparents are 5'2". Both sides 5'2". No shot. All
Hey,
right,
but we pack a wallop.
all
Short
day,
people pack a wallop, let me tell
all
you,
day.
okay? So
Yep.
I know, and there, believe me, Jeannie can tell you, there's a bunch of people that wouldn't mess with me. Mm-mm. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Not going to happen. Nope. And not you either.
I'm gonna sit in my chair. I'm gonna mind my business.
There you go. That's the best way to do it.
You
Because I'm
learn a
an
thing
old
or two when
lady.
you're from the mean streets. You learn to mind your business from
You
time to
got the
time.
mean streets of Royersford. I got the mean streets of Philadelphia. But I'm a very old lady. I could probably be your great grandmother. But um, you know, it still doesn't change who you are. You know, like I am who I am, and no matter what, deep down inside, that person still comes out eventually. You know, but now let me just ask you a question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Truthfully, signed. Signed. Like
Okay.
that's just me. And not to put pressure on myself like that or anything, but like if it's not there, we gotta figure something out. Cause now I've been doing this now consistently for about 4 years. Like we just passed like the 4 year anniversary.
Okay.
And so um and those first 4 years have been all about just kind of settling in, figuring it out. You know, especially with the kids coming up younger and younger, you know, there's people that are signed that are 18, 19, and
Yeah.
they put all this pressure on themselves. Like, oh, I gotta have this dialed in. I have to have this figured out because that's what they're looking for. It's like, trust me, the first draft is never usually the final cut. You know, you'll get there. You'll figure it out. Just smell the roses a little bit and enjoy the ride. So yeah, in 5 years, that would put me at 9 years in. I'm aiming to be signed. Um, and I'm definitely laying the groundwork, and I don't want to put too much out there right now, but I definitely feel like it's more than attainable.
Okay. Who do you want to be signed with?
So I hate when people do this. They go, I'll go anywhere that'll have me. You know what I mean? And of course you would. Of course you would. Why wouldn't you? But it's
Right.
WWE, and it always will be. It always will be. And I don't look at any other company as like, oh, I would never. Like, oh, if I'm there, oh, I failed. Oh, I'm not where I need to be. No, it's just that like obviously you're gonna go where the check clears. You're gonna go where there is money to be made and there's opportunities to be had. But truthfully, as somebody who grew up on WWE and who wrestles primarily a WWE centric style, they're all about that story as opposed
Right.
to the Flash. You know, they've brought in a lot of talent that definitely can bring that Flash, but at
Right.
its core, at its root values, it's all about it's great if you could be Shawn Michaels. It's fantastic. Not everybody could be Shawn Michaels. Strive to be somebody like a Rock or a Mr. Kennedy. You know, those guys that they're still solid. They're not known for like their wrestling acumen, but they can go. But they bring the people in. They're the ones that sell the tickets. I literally have been over the last, I want to say, month and a half. I've literally been studying 3 people, and it sounds so stupid when I list these names because it's like, oh, are you studying, or are you just trying to like watch wrestling for fun, But it's Triple H, John Cena, and Randy Orton. Those are the 3 that I'm studying right now. Because if you watch them and you listen very closely, because you could hear them calling what they need to call when they need to call. It picks up on the mics. They try to hide it, but they're very bad at it. But you watch and you watch how they move, why they move, and it's like, that's what I want. I want to get to that. That is my goal. As great as it would be to try and keep up with somebody like a Will Ospreay, who would, eat me alive if
That's
we're
my
being
boy,
honest.
my boy.
I will tout my athletic ability till the cows come home, but I promise you, if you put me in there with Will Ospreay, I'm dead. I'm dead in the water. I have to talk my way out of that. So like,
So why didn't you pick AEW then?
So the truth is that I watch wrestling, and like I'm in a Discord chat with a lot of the students at Super Crazy. It's moderated by Adrian Soriano, who is our trainer.
Okay.
And so we sit there and we don't just watch the wrestling, we watch the wrestling. And the thing that I look at consistently is that you see in AEW, you see a lot of talent that are very, 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 very fundamentally sound. Very fundamentally sound. And the upper echelon of that fundamentally sound is not just fundamentally, they're literally like, they can do no wrong athletically. Everything that they do is just pinpoint, precise. It's just clean, it's crisp. And to be honest with you, I know my physical limitations. And I know what that audience wants. And I can tell that audience would not resonate or necessarily maybe appreciate what I think I can offer, as opposed to the WWE crowd. I will always, like I said, I believe athletically and fundamentally, I'm great. But I think what will get me anywhere, and I know this because it's been said to me 1,000 times, is this: being able to do this and do it confidently. And not saying that it's not valued over at AEW, but it's definitely not the focal point. The focal point, and they say it, we're the best wrestle. And I believe that. I do believe like the
I
best
do too.
athletes in the world are wrestling for AEW, and you see it. You see it. I remember we were tape studying. I'm like, why are we getting Darby Allin and Will Ospreay on free television? What did we do to deserve this? This is fantastic. I'm gonna enjoy myself, But like, I see that and I go, okay, that's that style. And to clarify, if that opportunity ever came, I wouldn't sit there and go, well, it's not my style, so I guess I'll just have to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'll be like, no, let me see if I could step into this. And if I can't step into this, at the end of the day, I'm like you said, we're still gonna be us. I'm gonna find a way. So, but yeah, me personally, I would love to work with WWE.
The only thing I'm going to say for this, and Carmelo knows where I'm going with this. First off, somebody that you did wrestle is now part of WWE developmental, Marcus Mathers. And I said this to him, and I believe it with all my heart. Is I want nothing. Like, if that's what you want, that's what I want for you. That is, I'm going to have everything crossed and wishing that for you. But, however, Road Warrior Animal, okay, who me and Carmelo knew, okay, said directly to us, you go to WWE, well, at that time, WWF, to either start your career or the start of the end of your career, where your career goes to die. And it is the God's honest truth. and you see all these people at, you know, NXT and everything, and they're great and whatever, and then they get brought up and then they're buried and they're gone, and then they can't use their name because WWE owns it, and now it's just it. I'm not a fan, just put it that way, of them, but it is, you know, I want you, I want Marcus, I want everybody who wants to go there to be the main event of WrestleMania and the world champion and get all the
Exactly.
merchandising. And I want all of that,
Yep.
you know, but it's just,
it's a
the
lot.
rarity of it is
It's
just
a lot
of actually being that guy, you know. Another guy I know who made it there, and I'm so happy for him. But Joe Gacy, who I love. Oh my God, I would see him on the indies, and oh my God, was just in love, absolutely in love. Do I like what they're doing with him over there? Not really. You know, is he doing well? I guess, you know, but I don't know. It's just, but again, I wish everything that you want, I want that for you, and you would be great and everything like that. Like I said, it's just that company is not one
For
of my
sure.
favorites.
Two things on that. Can we stop talking about this guy, Marcus Mathers? Like, who is this guy? Like, I can't stand this guy. It's like trying to find it's like trying to find a bruise on Superman, this kid. He's like going everywhere.
Aww.
You know what I mean? So I can't stand him. But yeah, I think because that's another thing. Like we talk about, like we have the Discord and we're always watching. And like the one thing that I notice a lot of times, especially over on that side with the WWE and namely specifically NXT. And what do I know? I'm not there. But what I will say is I see how a lot of wrestlers who are there, and I'm talking about like signed to a major organization. I see how they talk. I see how they carry themselves. And I think a lot of them are surrounded by people who are telling them that they're good and telling them that they're great. And that's awesome to have people, you know, supporting you like that. But I feel like a lot of times you hear the conversations of like the reason that they don't really pan out is because they just didn't they were missing that one little thing. One little thing. And I believe out of everything that I have, the one little thing that they're all missing is the one thing that I have. And so that's I'm banking on an opportunity down the line that if it's there, I'm gonna knock it out of the park. Because I have had the, circling back to him, I did have a conversation with Mathers. Because I'm always curious, like, what the hell is this all about? What are you doing over there? Like, because at the time he wasn't really doing a lot of Evolve, and I'm like, where are you? Why don't I see you? But they're definitely looking for something. And again, like how AEW is looking for something, WWE is looking for something totally different. And I think he recognizes that, and it's definitely something that he's working towards. And as long as if he's working towards that, you know, I think he'll be in good shape.
Well, I'm going to give
with Marcus, I know he is great on the mic, and he is, in my opinion, an excellent wrestler. And you know, he can do everything. He can do the high flying, he can do the high spots, he can do the technical stuff, he can do hardcore, he can do it all, you know. But you know, it's and I said this to him, and you know, and granted, you know, his father can give him more better advice than I ever could or whatever. But WWE, you have to wrestle WWE style. And I think that brings down, it just brings their
ability,
talent down.
It
you know, like
you.
Carmella, you know, the Samoan, the 7-foot Samoan, Hikuleo, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You know, an amazing wrestler. And he had to come in and go and like learn how to wrestle. You know, he was in Japan and was phenomenal. he comes here, okay, well, you got to learn how to wrestle, forget all that great stuff. Now you got to wrestle like we want you to wrestle. And he's like not doing anything. And it's just so sad to see. It's like, oh my God, just let them wrestle. Is just my huge criticism,
Well,
of that, where it seems like AEW, they let them wrestle.
I'm going to tell you something, okay? And you don't know me from Adam, all right? I've been involved in wrestling for 62 years, okay? I have seen it all. I have not done it all, but I have seen it all. I have been around WWE. I have been
WWF.
WWF, I'm sorry. I've been a promoter. I was the first woman in the world to have a talk show on the radio in the 80s about professional wrestling. I have had encounters with wrestlers all over the place, from all over the world, everywhere.
You're friends with Bruno Sammartino, Dominic DeNucci,
Right. Andre the Giant,
Andre
Ivan
the
Putski.
Giant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, okay. And I also dated them. Okay. A few of these guys. And here's my take. Okay. Here's my take. Again, I love old school. Give me old school every day of the week and I'm happy. All right. But WWE used to be, in my opinion, the kind of wrestling that is good wrestling. Today, WWE has a show. It's a show that they're putting on. They're entertainers, they're performers, and they don't stop saying it. All right. Shut up. Okay. We don't do kayfabe here, but let the fans have a little bit of belief. Let them have something. All right. Now, in AEW, I am the first person podcast wise that I know of that started talking about Will Ospreay. And you see, I have him behind me. Okay. I absolutely love this boy. All right. He is amazing. And I saw him wrestle. Yeah. I've seen high flyers. I have seen jump screen. I have seen hardcore. I have seen any type of wrestling you have. Okay. This kid, all right, to me, he epitomizes the complete and total package to me. All right. To me, AEW, and again, understand, I have been around WWE all my life, but the AEW, like Jeannie said, they give you the opportunity to express yourself more. Yeah, people want to see blood and guts. People want to see the hardcore stuff more. That's what they're giving them. WWE, it's all honey and sugar. It's all roses. You come in, you hit people a couple times. Somebody else jumps in, gives you a spear, gives you a tsunami, gives you whatever. And it's all the same stuff all the time now. I'm also reading, and people are always putting down AEW, but I'm also reading that WWE is losing a lot of viewers. Money.
Yeah,
exactly.
viewers,
because their prices are so high. And they don't care.
They need me.
They need you.
They need me.
Well, let me tell you something. Wherever you land, okay, I know that you'll do a good job because number one, you have a great mouth. You have a great audio about you. You have a great verbiage. You're good at talking. And that right there is something that's good in the WWE, more so than the AEW. All right. You are confident.
They suck on the mic at AEW. They really do.
They do.
I don't know anybody who's really that good.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you're confident. Okay. You know what you can and can't do. You know how to get the fans riled up. You know how to give them what they want. Okay. You're kind of like I'm trying to think of, I was thinking of the wrestler and I can't think of his name. He's on NXT and he's a champ of some kind. I forgot his name, but anyway, you're like that kind of person who is this smart ass. You know who I'm talking about?
I'm pretty sure. You talking about Ethan Page?
Yes. All right. Perfect. You are this young smart ass. Okay. Who can do it, who can say it, who can bring it. And when you can do all that, sometimes you don't even have to wrestle, okay? Or you don't have to do, you don't have to do all that, all right? So, yeah, I think you have that in you. I definitely, just talking to you now, and I've never met you in person, but I think you have that in you where you can promote yourself. It's kind of like slapping somebody and they never even knew they got hit. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have that charisma, that charismatic energy about you. I saw that
Thank
right
you.
away. Okay.
Thank you.
And oh, it's true. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. And you have the ability to do that, kind of like even like a little bit like a Seth Rollins, where, look at me, everything's on me. I'm wonderful. I'm this, I'm that, I'm amazing. I. And that is sometimes what you need in order to get across. Okay. So you got
Yep.
that going for you, and don't lose that. Okay. That's a beautiful thing to have. And
Yeah.
you're young and you already have it. So imagine when you're 30, what it's going to be like. You're going to be unbearable.
That's the goal, to be
That's the goal.
to be the
Exactly.
person that's like, yo, get this guy out of here. That's what I need. I need
I
that.
saw that right away from the soon
And
as you
I,
opened
I
your
think
mouth.
another good comparison as far as mic skills or whatever of a current WWE guy is, I know you don't like him, Carmella. Well, you like him, but just not personally. But oh dear God in heaven, I swear to God, I have Alzheimer's. Who's the guy that we all love but everybody hates? The social media guy. His brother's a boxer.
Oh, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Logan Paul. He's excellent
Yeah.
at every phase, the talking, the stirring the pot and getting everybody pissed off and all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And but he's great in the ring.
Yeah. He's a guy you love to hate. And that was his goal.
Yeah.
To
So
love to
And
it's
hate.
so
and
funny.
he fills seats. He does.
Absolutely. It's
And
so funny that you brought up Ethan Page, and I don't mean to cut you off, but this is
No, it's
this
fine.
is actually really funny that you bring that up, because I definitely, so I'm not using it as, I'm not leveraging it as much as I could, and that's mainly because it's starting to become a tough platform to crack. But on TikTok, the three people, and this has been traveling everywhere I go with wrestling, but I read it the most on TikTok. The three people that I get compared to all the time are The Miz, MJF, and Ethan Page. And it always coincides with who's kind of like making the waves at the time. And so Ethan Page specifically, like there are times where I've had my hair shorter than this and I kind of grew out a little something here. And it's like, oh, hey, like, all right, that's like,
I
you could
clocked that right away.
conflate the two.
Yep. I
And
clocked that right away.
it's so funny because all right, I'm assuming you both are familiar with Faye Jackson. She is,
yeah, I am.
So she's our promo coach, and she's also as of late been able to kind of just be around the block. She's been able to work with people in TNA. She's been able to work with people in AEW. She's had connections in WWE, and so she like has a lot of these people just on standby just as a contact. And Ethan Page has a wrestling promotion in Canada, A1 Wrestling, and she's like, please send me something like a presentation so I could send it to him so that we can maybe see if we can get something lined up. And she came back and she goes, yeah, he really liked your stuff. And in the back of my mind, I didn't want to say it out loud. In the back of my mind, like, I wonder why. I wonder why Mr.
Yeah.
Ethan Page
Yeah,
likes
you
seeing
are
some Tim
like
Dynamite
him.
stuff.
You are. And it's funny because as soon as I listen to you, I picture in my head this image of Ethan Page standing on the apron right outside the ropes with his belt, leaning over, looking into the ring and talking to somebody with this smirk on his face and saying, yeah, I am it. I'm cool. I am who you want to be. I am who you are. And you are nobody without me. And, I could see you doing that. I really could. I could see you doing that. I could see you using your mind and your personality more than your body. I could see that very
my
much.
guy. That's been like, I know it's a popular thing where people like put stamp of approvals on certain wrestlers, like as if the wrestlers themselves aren't going to be great without the stamp of approval, what I
Right.
mean? But like I look at Ethan Page and Adrian Soriano, we talk about it all the time, like that's our dude right now. Like that's our dude. He's like, I love, listen, again, I try to and I'm not trying to be too political because I understand like it's like, oh, you're just trying not to rock the boat and you're trying to make sure you don't have to worry about any of what you say later. But like truthfully, I do enjoy NXT is tough to sit through a lot, I will admit. But I try to enjoy all the wrestling that I can. But for me, Ethan Page specifically has been such a breath of fresh air in the era of just literally the most perfect, well-rounded athletes with the most perfect physiques and the most perfect faces that, respectfully are very one-dimensional, in my opinion, just watching what they do. And I'm not going to name anybody in particular. That is the amount of politicizing that I'm gonna lean into. I'm not going to name anybody in particular, but there are people that I talk with a bunch of the guys about, like, oh, here we go again, this guy or this girl, like. But Ethan Page has been like such a joy to watch because he's just doing like um, simple, classic, and it's like just because it's simple doesn't mean it's wrong or it's boring. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like he's
Right.
made my favorite match of I think it was last year. I think it was maybe it's been such a like wrestling again. There's so much wrestling, but I think it was last year's No Mercy was Ethan Page and Joe Hendry. And like that was like a match that I'm like I just kept replaying over
That
and
was a good
over and
match.
over
That
and
was a good
over.
match. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite matches to go back
Yeah.
and watch. And it's just because the way that they set everything up. You had obviously Trick Williams in there as kind of like the instigator and trying to be the mediator, working through the match as the ref. But you've just got Ethan Page, who everything that and you would listen. The crowd, he gave Joe Hendry all this shine. He out wrestled him pretty much the first like 5 minutes of the match, just beating the shit out of him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan Page is taking it, and he cuts him off, and he takes control. And after he takes control, he looks to the people and is like, "Yeah, I'm in control. Don't worry about what you just saw 5 minutes ago. I'm in control now." And it was
Exactly.
just so beautiful to watch. I love that.
Well, it's funny. WWE right now, like I like people like Obafemi. That's the kind of person I like. Again, Will Ospreay, he just shines all over the place in my eyes. Okay. But now Oba, I have a feeling, and I like Trick Williams too. But if they come up to the main roster, I have a feeling they're going to come up and go right back down. Unfortunately, a lot of people that happens to. Look at what they did with Elektra Lopez, right? She was great in NXT, wrestled her butt off. As soon as she came into the main roster, stopped wrestling, and she's gone now. Why they made her stop wrestling?
We had
is
her
amazing.
on the show too.
Yeah. If you go on the internet, if you go on YouTube and you look up Carissa Rivera is her name. Unbelievable matches. Unbelievable. The woman is amazing. But as Elektra Lopez, she was just part of the lucha libre kind of thing. And that was the end of it. They didn't use her. And I don't understand why. But it is true. Like WWE has changed a lot since it was WWF. Okay. I could go on and on forever about that. But as you can tell here, Jeannie and I we know a little bit about wrestling, and our two of us together are like 100 years of wrestling knowledge. Okay, that's a lot. That's a whole lot.
Just a little bit of wrestling knowledge, just
a little bit, yeah.
And Tim, I don't know if you know this or not. Do you know? Have you ever heard of Dominic DeNucci?
Yeah.
Okay, he trained Mick Foley and Shane Douglas. So we were very good friends with him. Carmelo more than I, but I didn't know him. And he wanted to train me to be a wrestler. And he was dying for me, and come on. And I was like, no. And we actually went to his school one time, and he had a show that night with a lot of his students. And then he was on the card as the main event, him against Larry Zbyszko. And so at the school, after we watched them train, he says to me, "Yo, kid," everybody was kid, "get in the ring." Huh? No. And he's like, "Get in the ring." And so I got in the ring, and he told a student to suplex me. Well, he suplexed me. I screamed as I went over, and I thought, oh my God, I want to do this in the worst way. I want to do this. Like, oh my God. And he's like, "You did it wrong. Do it again." I said, "What did I do wrong?" I went up, I went over, I landed on my back. Like, what did I do wrong? He's like, "You landed with your legs out straight. You got to bend your knees so your feet hit first. You're going to have back problems." I said, "Dominic, I'm fine. I'm not going to sue you. I love you. It's okay. I'm good." He wouldn't let me out of the ring till I did it again, did it right. Okay, fine. And I knew what he was doing, but I was too scared because, especially back then, this is mid 80s, where women wrestlers were so disrespected and just not thought of, and and it was just, no, I'm not going to be treated that way. Like, there's just no way, this is what's going to happen. Not that Dominic would do it, but
Yeah.
I would have had to go work for Moolah. Enough said. No.
Right.
Not doing it.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's just a shame that, because I think I would have been good. I think I really would have been good, but the fear was just it was just too great for me, that I'm like,
I
there's
will
no.
say, I believe it too. I believe you would have been fantastic. I believe.
I did get to valet for Larry Zbyszko later on that night, and
There you go.
that was
Yeah.
great.
And she got into a physical altercation with Dominic too.
With Dominic, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent.
So
Love it.
yeah.
I do think, and this is why, like, I hate being this guy, but I tell everybody this all the time, like, I'm thinking about wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to do it. What do you think? I'm the type of guy that'll tell him point blank, don't do it. I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm just trying to protect you from yourself and the reality that is pro wrestling. Like, I'm 23 years old. I went to the chiropractor. This was probably about like a year ago, and it was stemming from something completely separate from wrestling. But they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do some X-rays and we're gonna see what's going on." They're like, "Tim, you have your neck is in stage 1 degeneration." Which basically means like if as I kind of sit here, my neck kind of already kind of curves out a little bit. But essentially, if you see like those people, like when they get up there in age and they start kind of hitting one of these gimmicks,
kind of like John Cena's doing now.
Yeah, they're like, if you don't like figure this out, like obviously you're doing this wrestling thing, but you need to like take measures to like counteract, because it's fortunately stage 1 is you can heal it. And you can bring that back. But once you kind of start, you put that off too long. And thank goodness we caught it when we did. But like, it's just like, I know, like, that's my neck taking all that abuse.
But that's why you're the kind of guy, okay, that's got a mouth and a personality. And there you go, and the confidence. And that will get you very far. Trust me when I tell you that, okay? You have what it takes to be an Ethan Page. You do. And you know how to wrestle. But you also have the other capabilities that are so important to move you ahead. Not everybody can talk like you can. Not everybody can talk on the mic. Not everybody can be snotty. And not that you have been, don't get me wrong, but I can see it in you. I can see you doing it.
He has been. Not today, not during this podcast, today, right. But yeah, when he's in the
look
ring,
at Devious
that
Cast,
whole personality.
Look at Devious Cast, how we met. We met with him insulting me from the ring, But
sweet.
Oh yeah.
That's a good first impression.
Yeah, he called me all kinds of things.
Oh, they're best friends now. But yeah.
Oh yeah, love him. He's so sweet. And when he saw me, I can't stand him either. No, when he saw me at the end of the night, he looked at me. He was like, "I'm so sorry because I didn't mean any of that." I'm like, "It's all right. Don't worry. I'm from Philly too. No biggie. I can handle it." But it's good when you have that persona, when you have that charisma. That's the word I've been looking for. When you have that charisma that you can you're that confident in yourself, it kind of oozes off of you, And there's not many people that we've had on our podcast that I've ever said that to, if I'm not mistaken. So I clocked that on you right away. As soon as you started talking, because Jeannie handled most of the interview and I just watch. So when I just watch, I notice, I hear, like you do when it comes to the wrestling fans. You hear, you listen. And in my head, I'm thinking of this mouth. I'm thinking of this temperament. I'm thinking of this ability, this charisma, this little bit of sarcasm, a little bit putting it all together. And I could see you walking around the ring like, hey, you want me here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here for you. You want me here for you. And that's the way you have that.
And that's
persona.
the way and you just nailed his
I'm good like that. Yeah.
And now, Tim, is there somebody on the indie scene that you would love to have a match with? Like your
Yeah.
Dream match? Who would it be?
So I've
Name as
been
many as you want. Just
yeah, for sure. I've been as very like especially with Super Crazy because I
Mhm.
will admit um I'm not going to pretend like I don't have a little bit of influence over who I get to share the ring with and what the stories we tell. Obviously, I have a little bit of tenure within Super Crazy that has I've been granted the privilege to kind of name my opponents and pick. So usually the people that I wrestle that I pick, like it's for the very reason I'm about to give you this next person in particular. That's why I picked Mark Raspa Jr. For tomorrow because I feel like there's just something there that like, you know, it's simple, but it's a little there's a little more to it than I think people might assume just off of meeting the eye.
Mhm.
Ryan Clancy is the name that like right now like I could probably list 1,000 people for sure, but I'm just going off of what I see and what I'm experiencing in real time. And the truth is that like it's why I picked Rulo when we did the inaugural U.S. Open Challenge deal.
Yeah.
Wonder where we came up with that idea. But he's like the total opposite of me in every facet, and that's I feel like that tells the best stories, and you can actually have the most fun telling those stories and wrestling those matches. I look at Ryan Clancy. Truth is, and I haven't had the opportunity to actually talk to him about this, but the truth is that he is nothing like flashy. He really isn't. He's trunks. He has short boots. He's very like that throwback look. You know, he does hip tosses. He does arm drags. His finish is a drop kick. You know what I mean? But it's the way he carries himself, and I sit there and I go that is what I feel like the business needs. It needs
Mhm.
people like him, wrestling people like me, to get people to want to get to know more about what we do. Um, I will say I've had the opportunity and I'm very privileged to have wrestled enough of like I kind of checked off a lot of like the inaugural like this is the list of people I want to wrestle like Mathers for the longest time so I can't stand him for the longest time was literally like I have to wrestle this guy because he is I don't do anything that he doesn't do anything I do we are just it would just be fantastic and I've now
And
had
it
the
was.
opportunity. I've had the opportunity to wrestle him 3 times, and
Yeah.
I could say, all right, I'm not saying that I will never want like. There's still a part of me I'm like, there's still more to tell. There's still more to do. We could. There's still but like, all right, I've done Mathers. I'd love to wrestle Austin Luke. Again, just another guy, very very sound, and like his like very. If I the best way I would describe it is if I'm um confident outright. He is very confident inwards. So like he
Okay.
knows what he brings to the table, and you can just feel it. It kind of just you know, you, it's just something about being around him. You're like, okay, you're sure of yourself. You know what you need to do. You know how you need to do it, and like that to me is what I want to work with. So like those if you are more than just wrestler guy, which granted on the surface, the two guys that I just listed, it's hard to find anything more than just wrestler guy. But like there's just it's again that it factor. There's something deeper that underlies that. And I think for as long as if you are a person that is more than just wrestler dude, and you have a desire to continue to prove yourself. That's who I want to wrestle. Easy answers are obviously I would love to wrestle somebody like Jordan Oliver or Alec Price. These guys that can go and like would really push me to kind of touch, that aspect of my game that I don't really dabble in a lot. Um, but yeah, I think right now personally, because I'm looking at it from obviously, and I think this is no new information, especially these days. Not a lot of whole money to be made in independent wrestling, but I would think that if you put on a marquee, if we had established everything and you put on a marquee, Tim Dynamite versus Ryan Clancy, you could have a little bit of fun with that and you can convince people to want to see that. That's why I would love to wrestle somebody like him.
Cool. You're good. I got to give you that. You're good. Would you be willing to come back on the show again?
Absolutely.
I think that'd be great because we can see your progress as you go along. I'd like to keep promoting your progress as you go along. I think that you have really good future. I think that there are good things going to be said about you in a couple of years. I think you have what it takes. I do. I honestly do. And you can replace the fact that you are not a huge person with the fact that you have that, like I said before, you have that Ethan Page, the myth, what you were saying, but I think Ethan Page more so. You have that ability to be obnoxious. And sometimes that is the best thing you can do. And I think that works for you.
Well,
And I
thank you.
think
That's the goal.
Yeah. And I think the one thing, and this is why I absolutely love Super Crazy, is when you go, it's almost like there's this, granted, maybe a little dysfunctional, but a dysfunctional family feel. Like these guys are all, whether they like each other or not, they're family and they're in this, and they give the people, they just they leave everything out in the ring. Everything. They give it their all. They do everything. There's something, there's high flying matches, and there's hardcore matches, and there's, technical matches, and and it's just really, really, it's just a great, great, great independent promotion. It really, really is. And you can just feel it and sense it, and that everybody's going out there and they're all pushing each other to be the best because they want to be the best. And because, it's just, it's an amazing organization. And if anybody is in Gloucester City in the area, it's not a far drive from Philly, definitely got to go. 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And it's amazing. It really is amazing. And the fans are so into it. They really are into it.
And what's the name of the building again?
So it depends on who you ask, because there's certain I guess I can't necessarily say exactly what the reasons are, but there's definitely reasons why we call it certain things and not the others. I've always, just for ease, I just call it the Super Crazy Entertainment Center. It's just something that, like, it's all right. Hey, we're Super Crazy it's going to be at the Super Crazy Entertainment Center, duh. But it's technically, I believe, the Pine Grove Civic Association is one, and I think now the new name is the Gloucester City Community Association.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so go there tomorrow. 7 o'clock is the bell time?
Yes.
Okay. And see this young man and see what you think of the Ethan Page look-alike, or act-alike, I should say. Yeah, that young man right there. It's been a wonderful time having you on the show. God bless you.
It's been awesome.
It really
and long overdue. I've been trying to get him on for I don't know how long, but
it's so tough. It's so tough, and that's why I wanted to try to make, because literally. So I will say this, because I don't want to leave here without giving them the credit. Setup is happening right now for tomorrow. So Storm is there, Fozzy is there. I'm sure Vaughn is there. Vaughn, even though he's not going to be there tomorrow night, God bless him, he's got a pretty cool opportunity to do some extra work on SmackDown. That should be great for him.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, now I gotta watch. Now I gotta taste
Oh my God, he's gonna go to SmackDown tomorrow?
Yeah. So
as Fozzy or no?
No, Homeless Vaughn.
Oh, Homeless Vaughn. Yeah. No, I don't know what he's doing. But yeah,
okay.
he'll be there.
Wow.
And
God bless him.
And it was really funny talking to him about it, because he came up to me. He's like, "Oh, Tim, I just or sorry, hang on, Tim, no, I'm kidding." But like he was like, I was asked to, if I could be there, and it's the same day as the show, and I had to look him down. I don't know, I didn't even know why this was a conversation that we had to have, and I'm like, dude, go. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Go. Yeah.
But yeah, so that crew right now, Primal Fear, I know Primal Fear is there. I wouldn't be surprised, again, even though he's not slated to be there tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Devious Cast is there. Just they're all holding down the fort while I took the time to, I wanted to make sure that I got this in, because it's just been
Thank you. Thank you so much. It means a lot.
This is the first. This is the
and
first
tomorrow
time
I think something on the card. TJ Reno is
Yes.
on the card as well.
Yes. Can't stand that guy either. No, I'm kidding. They're all great. But yeah, I want to give
you.
credit.
I really like you.
I like me too. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I can't give that crew enough credit. They're all there right now, and so I just wanted to at least
we had Fozzy
shout
on.
them out in some capacity.
We had Fozzy on. We had Cass. We had Primal Fear. You,
Denise. Yeah.
We're
going through
it, but
what we're going to do is we're going to try and get a bunch of you together and do a whole panel. So that'll be good.
Oh boy, that should be interesting.
Yeah, we're going to do that too.
That is, they're like, not to incriminate myself or anything like that, but there's definitely been conversations that I'm sitting there with Fozzy and Cass and Primal, and I'm sitting there being like, oh, we can't let this conversation go anywhere else but here. This is, what are we talking about? Like, we're grown men.
You can bring it here. You can bring it to us. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, God bless you. Enjoy your life. We'll hopefully see you again soon. All right.
I'll see you tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Well, right now we're booked until January, so we're going to start doing 26. So we'll get you back on, and then hopefully, like I said, we're going to do a whole panel. I think that'd be really fun. But in the meantime,
it really is. It's amazing, and I know people are probably sick of me promoting you guys, but I don't care.
No, I don't think so at all.
It's and there are. It's just the wrestling that I prefer. It's just the wrestling that I prefer.
So everybody likes what they like, and that's the way it should be. Okay.
There's some great indie promotions out there, and there's some really horrible indie promotions. I've been to all of them. And
sure. Alec Price told us, he said that, like, because he was there before he wrestled Cass at the last event, he was there beforehand, and it was one of those things like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you here not wrestling? Like, what are you doing here? But I had a pretty good conversation with him, and he said it reminds me of Wrestling Open, which Wrestling Open is like the play. If you're an independent wrestler, that's where you want to try to be right now, is Wrestling Open. It's where all the ID talent, is kind of being brewed and grown from. And that's where you get a lot of the eclectic characters that I'm bringing up that I want to wrestle. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's like, it reminds me of like what it was when we were trying to on the come up, and that's where they're at now. So it's like that is a goal. We want to get there.
That is.
And the other thing I have to give you props for, really quick, and this is just something. I don't know if it's petty or not, but it's just your entrance music is the best entrance music ever. It is the best. I love it. Every time I hear it,
Yes, Dynamite by Sam Tenez. It's an actual song, which I know sets me up for failure in the long term, because I know you gotta have. I did have custom music, but they're like, it's just trash. I played that, and everyone's like, yo, this is sick. Sam Tenez knows that I use that. He's cool with it. So if we can work something out down the line, if there's ever an opportunity like that, I definitely want to try to license
it. Really is. It really is. It's just awesome. And I just start grooving and in my chair, and it's just like, oh yeah.
All day.
All day is right. Yeah. Jeannie loves that.
I can't deny Dynamite. I just can't. I cannot deny Dynamite.
There you go. I'm starting to feel that way myself. Let me tell you. You are incredibly impressive. Thank you. Like I said before, God bless you. Hopefully in 5 years, when you become real famous, you won't forget us.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I won't let them. No, are you kidding? Me and Frank Chili will be like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be like, understood.
We'll be kicking his ass.
Okay, there you go. No problem. And I'll be saying, I told you so. Just remember that, okay? Well, it's been great. All right. Yes. You have a great night. You have a great show tomorrow. God bless you. We'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And best of luck to you, honey. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. That means
all right. Take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Wow. He is good. Holy crap. He's good. Yeah.
He's so good on the mic. He's so good at the promos. Like, they'll do little videos, vignettes.
He's going to be somebody. He really is.
And he is just phenomenal. It's his superpower. He really, but he is still seriously a good wrestler. He's really good.
He's a good kid. He really is.
He really is. He really is.
And this is why I like to promote these young people, because you never know where they're going to land, and I think that's great. So, Jeannie, I'm going to let you go too.
Yes.
It's 6:30 on a work night, so that's the end of that. I
Yep.
will talk to you again over the weekend. We'll determine
Yes.
what we're going to do with our recaps. I'm sorry we haven't done the recaps. Again, all this stuff with Paul passing away really hit us hard.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it. We're going to go back again because last night was blood and guts, so it was amazing.
Oh my God.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to do the tribute to Paul. But we'll put it on Facebook. We'll let you know when it is. Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Sounds
Jeannie. I
good.
love you.
I love you more.
I love you most. Take care. See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.